blues that made America rich.
Well, I worked on the assembly line 6 long years, building motors, automobiles. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I worked on the assembly line 6 long years.
The blues has brought music a long way.
It's truly one that we own ourselves, America.
Everybody speaks the same language of music.
It's a heritage, and you don't want to forget it.
And my blues come from the cotton field here in Alabama. I came up the hard way. I came up with outdoor toilets, slop jars, kerosene lamps. I used to pick cotton. I couldn't go to school too much.
The blues is another way of expression, another way of just simply sitting down and talking. This is what I had to go through with.
Well, the blues is soothing to me, and it's an experiences that you have.
When things went bad, people wouldn't know what to do. See, so when things go bad now, we have the blues.
Blues is not sad. For me, it's by an experience.
Anybody can have the blues. Anybody can have the blues.
Make you feel good, it make you feel younger. It's a healing sport.
You can't do a polka, you know, when you're crying. I mean, you can hear some polka and start crying.
But all the blues is everyday life, and it's the down parts of your life. But if you sing about them and put them in the past, it's something you can laugh at and say, man, I made it through that. How in the world? I thought I wasn't going to live, you know.
Blues, rhythm and blues, that old gut bucket blues, brawl house blues, and the way you want to do it, you got all that.
Music is not a job to me. It's, you know, when it comes to be a job, then, you know, all the sweetness come out of it.
Yeah, so the blues, you know, is essential, man, to life.
Look where you're coming from, and look ahead. Look ahead.
If you don't succeed that one day, blues day, then the next day try it again, and that's what I believe in.
It all began in the Mississippi Delta. Although blues music had, at first, unacknowledged roots in the American South, it went on to greatly influence today's music throughout America and the rest of the world. The arrival of 20th century blues music, directly connected to slavery and the African American experience, was a critical turning point in the music industry, impacting American culture and causing the emergence of numerous major genres in the 20th century.
Long before the first emergence of any popular blues genres, slave music expressed the sorrows of the African American experience. At the turn of the 20th century, black communities in the South continued the tradition of musical expression through performing in small shacks all around the Delta. It was in these juke joints that famous blues artists such as Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters, and Son House first performed. Through the sharecropping system, many black field workers were living undesirably and decided to use music, with its roots in the slave experience, as a way out. In the 1890s, an infamous pest known as the boll weevil crossed the Rio Grande and invaded plantations in the southern United States, destroying more than 3 million bales of crop a year. Communities were forced to move north, bringing their culture with it. The early forms of blues began to spread north as well, and were popularized on a small scale in urban areas such as Detroit and Chicago. B.B. King was one of the very first to incorporate the electric guitar in what is known today as Chicago blues. The movement sparked national recognition of other subgenres and styles of blues, broken off into either country or city blues. Although the movement had taken off in America, what truly gave blues music recognition was the European adaptation of American blues. European musicians fell in love with the sounds of American Delta blues. Many bands began popularizing blues music internationally by covering original Delta blues songs. What the bands had unknowingly begun was to live in music history forever. European bands toured the United States playing covers of Delta blues songs most of America had never heard before. Legendary bands such as Cream, The Animals, and Led Zeppelin were playing electric versions of old country blues music written by Leadbelly, Son House, Robert Johnson, and many others. European bands were the first to truly popularize blues music in America, and so, blues music gave birth to rock and roll, still a thriving genre in today's music industry.
As European bands continued popularizing the blues in America, a desire from the people to discover the origin of the blues arose. Many original Delta blues artists disappeared during the start of the European invasion, but re-emerged after World War II. Famous blues musicians such as Skip James and Son House were pulled out of self-exile to perform for enormous crowds everywhere. Soon, the originators of the blues were getting their much-deserved credit.
Paralleling the rediscovery of original Delta blues was the start of the civil rights movement in America. J.B. Lenoir was, like many people of the time, an African American dedicated to the achievement of rights for his people. Lenoir was one of the very first to write songs protesting the treatment towards blacks of the day. Many musicians of the time found their roots through Lenoir's music and went on to become popular peace musicians. In 1967, Lenoir was turned away from a hospital due to racial prejudice after being in a car accident. Tragically, he died soon after in his home from internal bleeding. And although he did not live to become a nationally popular blues artist, his legacy lived on through his work and all civil rights sympathizers. His music directly influenced the fight for civil rights in America. It helped change American culture and shape the way society is today.
Slow down, slow down. Let me step on board. I just wanna ride your train just before I go.
Lenoir's civil rights and Vietnam protest songs gave way to bands like Buffalo Springfield and artists including Bob Dylan, who promoted a new generation of protest.
And if I had you by my side, you would mean so much to me.
Throughout the remainder of the 20th century and into the 21st, blues music continued to grow, expanding into many modern genres. Slave music, which directly evolved into the blues, brought on the emergence of gospel, rap, hip-hop, R&B, and soul music into the world. Early rhythm and blues also contributed to the creation of funk, boogie, and numerous variations of jazz. The biggest influence blues had on the music industry is still shown today through rock and roll music. Hundreds of bands incorporated the electric trademark of rock and also integrated synonymous instrumentation, lyrics, and choruses of blues music. Rock and roll was directly influenced by early blues and gave the biggest push for the development of numerous subgenres. These genres evolved and developed through the years and include rockabilly, psychedelic rock, punk, ska, grunge, metal, and indie rock, to name a few. Amazingly, all of these genres can be traced back to Delta blues of the early 20th century.
We'll make everything alright, my honey, don't.
Simply stating that American culture and music were heavily impacted by the blues is a complete understatement. The blues provided for the transformation of society through civil rights participation and the development of musical genres. Even modern blues is popular and booming, with artists like Jack White and the Black Keys topping the charts and winning multiple Grammy Awards. And although music has changed, the true meaning of the blues remains the same. B.B. King, now 87 years old, is still playing up to 100 shows a year. Blues music acted as a turning point in the American music industry, promoting the evolution of new music and helping shape American culture.
You got me.